Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. We'll be finding area and perimeter and you will be able to work on 11.11. Today students will find the area and perimeter of figures on a graph or grid. Okay, so let's start with a warm-up. One of them is actually related to what we will be learning. The other one not so much, but it's good review. And so it says, what is the area of a rectangle that is 5 meters long and 50 centimeters wide? Okay, so if we think of the rectangle, it looks like this. And it says 5 meters long and 50 centimeters wide. Now, before we can find the area, we need to change it either from meters to centimeters or from centimeters to meters. Okay, so we're gonna make this into centimeters. 5 meters is gonna be 500 centimeters. So now we're gonna find the area. The area is length times width. So this is the length, which is 500. This is the width, which is 50 centimeters. And so if we multiply them, 5 times 5 is 25, and we just carry the 3 zeros. So it's going to be 25,000 square centimeters. So that's going to be the area of this rectangle. Okay, even though it's not asking for it, but just because the goal for today is to find perimeter as well. So the perimeter, the formula will be 2 lengths plus 2 widths, okay? Or you can just add all the sides, right? But this is the one of the formulas used for perimeter of a rectangle. And so in here we can just replace 2 times the length is 500 plus 2 times the width, which is 50. 2 times 2 times 500 equals 1,000 plus 2 times 5 is 100, and when we add them, it's equals to 1,100, and that's going to be just centimeters, okay? No square, just the unit. Okay. For the second one, he says, what is the area of a right triangle, sorry about that, with legs measuring 10 meters? Okay, so these are the legs. This is the hypotenuse. It says that the legs are 10 meters. And if it's something like this where you have the right angle in there, that means that the 2 legs are the base and the height. So for the area, it's going to be base times height divided by 2, or it's also known as area is equals to 1/2 base times height, which is the same. It's the same to multiply by 1/2 time than to divide by 2. Okay, so if we replace this, the base is 10, the height is 10, so 10 times 10 divided by 2. 10 times 10 is 100 divided by 2. And so, did I say? Yeah, 100 divided by 2 becomes 50 meters. Oh, 15 square meters. Sorry about that. So remember, area is always squared. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at figures, but this time they're going to be on a grid. And this is very simple, right? Because you can just see that you will just count the squares and you will know what the length is. So the length in here is, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's equals to 5 square units. And the width is equals to 1, 2, 3. 3 square units. So it's easy. The area is equals to, again, we already know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. So the length is 5. The width is 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. So that's the area of this rectangle. For the perimeter, again, the formula is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. And the reason is because you have 2 of those and 2 of those, okay? You're just adding. Perimeter is the addition of all the round part of it, around of it. Okay, so 2 lengths means 2 multiplied by the length, which is 5, plus 2 widths, meaning 2 times the width, which is 3. 2 times 5 becomes 10. 2 times 3 becomes 6. And so the perimeter is equals to 16 units, okay? We're not going to put the unit because we don't know what it is. If it's feet, we put feet. If it's meters, meters, centimeters, centimeters, okay? So, and in here is square, but since we don't know, we're just going to leave it like that. Okay, so this was very simple, right? However, sometimes the figure is not going to be as easy as to count the squares because this is rotated, okay? So what is the length and the height? So we can say the length and the width, sorry. So the length is this right here, and there are 2 ways that you can use it. It's with a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because there is a triangle in there. However, we've been practicing the distance formula, and so that's what we're going to be using. So first we need to figure out what the coordinates for each vertex of these lines are, and we only need to find 1 length instead of finding 2 lengths and 2 widths. We can use just one of them. Okay, so what is the coordinate of this point right here? Well, to get here, you always move on x first and then on y. So it's to get here, it's beginning at the origin is going to be 1, 2, 3. So positive 3 on x. And then you go down 1, 2, 3. Since you go down, it's going to be negative 3. For the next one, you move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on x. And then from here, you don't go up or down. So that means it becomes 0 for y because you don't go up or down. In here, to get there, I need to move 1 to the left. So that becomes negative 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So that becomes positive because it's up. And finally, this last one is going to be, so negative because you go to the left, and it's negative 3 spaces to the left, and then up 1. Okay, so positive 1. Okay, again, we're going to find the distance of this so that we can know the length. And so if you recall the distance formula, I'm going to write it up here. D is equals to the square root of, remember, it's like two eyes with eyelashes, the nose, and the minus, like sleepy eyes. And so we get y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Again, if you switch the y's in here and the x in here, that's fine. It doesn't affect. But now let's apply it. So I'm going to find first the length. For the length, it's going to be between the points negative 3, 1, and 3, negative 3. And I'm going to start using the distance formula. And so I start y2, so this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 minus y1, so negative 3 minus 1. Negative 3 minus from the formula 1. Okay, and then x2 minus x1, so x2 minus x1. So negative, negative, because negative from the formula and negative from here. Remember that two negatives together make a big plus. Okay, and so we continue. So d is equals to the square root of -3 minus 1. When I have a number, that means that I have an addition of negatives, so that's gonna be -4 square plus 3 plus 3 is 6 square, and so this becomes -4 square is -4 times -4 equals 16. 16 plus 6 times 6 is 36. We add that, and that becomes 52. And for this part, you have to use your calculator. Okay, you're gonna use your calculator, and we're gonna use that number right there. So we press the number and then just press that, and it gives you the answer. For some calculators, first you press the square root, then the number that is inside, and then finally equal. Okay, so it's a different process, not very difficult, it's just in different order. We're gonna round to the tens in here, so it's gonna be 7.2, and that's gonna be my length. So now I have the length, now I have to find the width. Okay, again, for the width is these two, so we're gonna use those 2 points. So width, my points are, let me just circle that, 3, -3, and 5, 0. It doesn't matter if you switch the two numbers, you will get the same answer. The process looks a little bit different, but it's just the order basically. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that formula. So it's gonna be distance of these 2 points. It's gonna be square root of, okay, fancy eyes with eyelashes, minus. And so I start y2 minus y1. If you need to label them, make sure you do. So y2 minus y1 plus x2 minus x1 in here, negative and negative together make a big plus. Okay, and so it becomes 0 plus 3 is 3 square plus 5 minus 3 is 2 square. It doesn't matter if you put parentheses or not because both are positive. So if you write it this way or this way, it's gonna be the same. Okay, and the distance will be equals to 3 square is 3 times 3, meaning 9. 2 square means 2 times 2, meaning 4. And now add 9 plus 4, which is 13. And so the distance will be, we go to our calculators, and it's going to be 13. The square root of that is 3.6. Okay, so that's going to be my width. So 3.6. Now I'm able to find the perimeter and area. Okay, so I'm going to find the perimeter first. Now that I have my length and my width. So the perimeter is equal to 2 multiplied by the length plus 2 multiplied times the width. And 2 times the length is 7.2 plus 2 times the width, which is 3.6. Now in here you might want to use a calculator. I pretty much can do it in my head because these are small numbers. You just double it. So twice 7.2 is 7 and 7 is 14.4 plus 3.6, double that is gonna be 7.2, and 14 Since these are less than 10, it's gonna be 14 plus 7 is 21, and 0.4 plus 0.2 is 0.6. So the perimeter is 21.6. For the area, remember that it's length times width, and the length is 7.2, the width is 3.6. This one I cannot do in my head. I can possibly do it on the side, but just for the sake of time, I'm gonna choose my calculator. It's 7.2 times 3.6, and that's equivalent to 25.92. Okay, so that's my perimeter and my area. Okay, we're using the same formulas than before. The only difference is that because these are not horizontal or vertical, at the base and the height, or length and width, so that's why we had to use the distance formula to find this. And that's it for the video. Now you can work on 11.11, and let me see if Rocky, he keeps barking when I'm doing the video. Let me see if he can come up. Look at him. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, hi, Rocky. Hi, Rocky. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Look at him. He's so cute. Okay, have fun and do 11.11. Bye-bye.